The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
What? What's up? What's up? What's up? AWA Airwater, what's up? How you having a good Tuesday, man? Yeah, as I am. Okay. We're gonna, so welcome. So welcome aboard to my show, Echo Spoiler Review. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do here, man. Spoiler review for Echo. No, obviously you could tell this is not episode by episode spoiler review because this is a binge watch show. Okay. So, but okay, before we get into the Echo spoiler review and my thoughts and discussion, was it good or bad? Couple announcements for this channel and my other channel, The Dissect. If you're okay, so on this channel, Thursday, I don't know, yes, this Thursday, I believe. Let's Talk Pop, episode 64. It's gonna happen. Episode 64, Let's Talk Pop. Not sure what time. Honestly, I'm not sure what time. It could be around the same time as this. 7 o'clock. Thursday. 7:30. Whatever. Thursday. And I gotta upload videos again on my channels. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna look at so for my other channel that I said, hello Degrassi. So for my other channel, I'm looking at some videos from Campia that he made today, and I haven't seen them, but I'm gonna look at the videos Campia has made today and see if there's something that's interests me. I could I know what he did talk about the Star Wars Ray movie, the Infinite. It's gonna be delayed Infinity, when actually it's not true at all. It's not true at all. It's actually happening, but he doesn't know that. But he knows that now, but I don't think he knew that during the video. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I'll watch that and see what he has to say before I go in detail. I think I'll talk about that. Let's see what else on my other channel. It will not be a stream. Okay, what else did he say? Yeah, we'll talk about the Star Wars maybe, and maybe we'll talk about the Daredevil or the Fast 11. The Daredevil being canon to the MCU, or the Fast 11 budget cuts. The negative scooper is here. Yeah, he got called that. We'll look. I'll look at 3 Campia videos to see which one or two are the best to do. I think the Star Wars stuff is the best because I think that'll get people's attention more. But yeah, but on Friday, we're gonna have a stream on that channel, Dissect. And no, it's not gonna be a Campia. Oh yeah. It's not gonna be on Friday for sure. On Friday, you and I, we didn't buy it, Degrassi. It's obvious. You and I did not buy that bullshit. But on Friday, we're gonna do a stream on the Dissect, and it's not Thursday. There will be a stream on Let's Talk Pop on this channel, but on Friday there's gonna be a Dissect stream, and it's not gonna be on John Campia or Grace Randall. We're gonna look at the joke. Doomcock, and we're gonna look at a bunch of videos he's made. Let's see what the ones I've liked. We're gonna go over. He has actually made one today that I'm gonna add to the list. So we might go over 3 or 4 videos of Doomcock on Friday. So let's see which ones I added from Doomcock. Okay. So one from today made 4 hours ago, 36,000 views. It's about the Doomcock claims he knows the plot to the Ray movie. He claims his spies told him. We're gonna go over that. That's one of the things. We're gonna go over Friday. Yeah, Degrassi made a video on that. Stop watching Disney Star Wars, and another one he made 8 days ago. He's going to talk about Zelda, Nintendo fighting pressure to make the Legend of Zelda woke. So he's going to talk about Zelda, the Zelda movie, and also Disney announced his Mandalorian movie in a way for the people to stop talking about the Rey movie. So we're gonna go over maybe 3 or 4 videos. I guess technically 3 Star Wars videos and 1 Zelda movie, because I know my friend Blinded wants to come on Friday. He wants to plan to come on Friday, and he's a big gamer and he wants to definitely talk about Zelda. Now Blinded is not a fan of the idea of a live action Zelda, but that's not the point here. The point is what Doomcock is claiming the movie's going to be, the wokeness and all that. We're going to go over that Friday. And Blinded is always allowed on the stream. Obviously, I think I did send them an invitation. Okay. Yeah. Because I know I saw you. Okay, we're going to go to Echo. Echo. The spin-off from Hawkeye. I guess Hawkeye is technically a spin-off from Daredevil. I don't know. It's kind of like, I want to say it's a spin-off from Daredevil. Since it's canon now, you know what? No. It's part of the universe. It's the same part of the universe. It's not really a spin-off. It's not really a spin-off. Okay? Sorry. It's not really a spin-off, I guess. I don't know. It is a spin-off from Hawkeye, but I guess Hawkeye is considered a spin-off from Daredevil and the main MCU stuff before it became canon. At the time, Daredevil wasn't canon, I guess, officially canon. They said it was not going to be canon, but they made it canon. The Netflix universe stuff. And I think the reason why they decided to make that canon, before we get into Echo, and let me get this banner up. This has something to do with I think they were getting a lot of pushback from fans about the Daredevil, the stuff from Netflix not being them downplaying that the canon, the canon part, the canonically, is it canonically or whatever? It's a Netflix stuff part of MCU, and they kind of played it like some of it might be, especially for Daredevil. They kind of play it like some of Daredevil might be part of the MCU, and it confused people and got a lot of pushback by fans and stuff. And I think with Daredevil, when Daredevil the show was announced, right? And originally they were not going to have Foggy and Karen Page back, right? Right? They said they were not going to have Karen Page and Foggy back. Now, as you know, during the strikes, they kind of like the big announcement. Once the strike was over with, a big press release came out about Daredevil, how they're reworking the whole thing. Basically, they keep some little footage, but they're basically reworking the whole thing. And I think the pushback and I think the negative reaction to it, and I think they're like, yeah, you know what? We need to make this related to the Netflix stuff. And make it not just related to the Netflix stuff, but make sure everything is in ways related to everything. Not just pick and choose from Netflix, but everything. And I think as a couple days ago, we got Karen Page and you know what? We got Deborah and Wool. I forget the other guy's name. I'll just call him the one of the Bash Brothers from Mighty Ducks movies. Yeah, that's where we remember him from, right? Right? Foggy, right? Remember from the Mighty Ducks movies as one of the Bash Brothers. I think they're like, yeah, we know what. Yeah, we need to bring him back. They're like, you know what? They're like, yeah, they got hot water for that, and they're doing that, and they're making, and then they announced before Echo came out, everything from them, everything from Daredevil, not Daredevil, Netflix is canon. So, yeah, so, yeah. This is my basic review. This is my basic review right here. It's an okay show. It's I've seen some people say, "Oh, it's the best MCU show after WandaVision and Loki." No, no, no. WandaVision and Loki are better than this, but there's better MCU shows than Echo. I'm sorry. Secret Invasion is not one of them. I'll say that. Okay. I like Hawkeye better than Echo. I'm sorry. I like Hawkeye better than Echo. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier better than Echo. Okay. And I'll be yeah, so they decided to make everything canonically, okay? Yeah. And this I'm gonna say right here. I know people were happy with when they announced it's gonna be mature. People were happy about that. They lied to you, man. The only thing that was really mature about this was the blood. Blood. Now, I'm not asking for sex or nudity or anything like that, or really gory scenes. But the only thing mature about the show was blood, and I think he could get away that bit of this in PG-13 or TV-14 because there was nothing really here that really warrants a rated R, mature rating. Okay, there was no F words in the show. You would think in a mature show you would have one F bomb. For the God's sakes, Guardians of the Galaxy had an F word in a PG-13 movie. But here there's no F word. I'm pretty sure there was no F word in the whole show. And I'm pretty sure they didn't swear all that much. They didn't swear that much in the show. This show did not need to be PG-13. They just did it because of blood. Okay, you know what? I mean, did not need to be way mature. That was a miss. That was okay. It's not. It's not. I won't say it's false advertisement, but I think it was. I think it was leading. I think it was the term. What's the word I'm going to say? Misleading the audience. Misleading the audience. Blinded was right. They did mislead the audience with the mature rating. That's a criticism I have. And guess what? Daredevil's probably going to be the same. I told you guys. The only MCU movie that's going to be pure rated R right now, besides maybe Blade, is going to be Deadpool 3. That's going to be the closest thing to rated R right now. But, okay, most of the stuff in the, okay, if this eventually leads to a Daredevil show and then a Spider-Man movie, you got to team up a Spider-Man movie. You think Spider-Man movies can be rated mature? Come on, rated R? Spider-Man's gonna be PG-13. Come on, let's be realistic here. I guarantee you this: if Deadpool ends up in an Avengers movie, which it might, guess what? It ain't gonna be rated R. It ain't gonna be rated R. See, even Degrassi doesn't think it'll be rated R. And that's going to piss off a lot of people. If that's the case, it's going to piss off a lot of people. You got to understand. I don't think rated R could work in the MCU. Unless it's Black Label. And you know, Marvel doesn't do Black Label like DC does. And I'm not sure if oh my god. I'm not sure if DC is going to do more Black Labels after Joker and the Batman stuff. They probably will, but we'll see. But seriously, here's the thing. The MCU wants to get teenagers, right? I said this on the stream. I think the MCU is one reason why people are not going. I think people are going out of the phase of the MCU because they're getting the adult phase, right? A lot of people grew up in the MCU, so they want to capture the younger audience again, teenagers, young kids on the verge of being teenagers and teens. And yeah, okay. You need to see this. I mean, like, you don't need to see it, but like, it's not a great show, but it's an important show for Daredevil. Really, really important for Daredevil. I'm telling you, it's important for Daredevil. For a Daredevil show. You know, Um, but they want to get they want to get younger audiences back so they can start. Okay. Blinded, my buddy, you're so right. You're so right. They misled the audience with the mature rating. This show did not need to be made mature.
I mean, well, uh, I mean, like they misled it in the way where I think that was I called it a marketing stunt.
Yes.
Because most of the show is not M rated,
No.
and the stuff that's M rated, it's just blood. Like it's
Blood.
literally just digital blood. Yeah.
You could if you know what you could have got away with that PG-13 and make it too. You could have got away with that PG-13.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to even think toward the ending of the show.
No.
There wasn't really a lot of blood from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could have been a PG-13 show. They did this because obviously no one would have watched the show. It would have bombed. I mean, it's still gonna bomb regardless, but
Listen,
they thought, hey, maybe we can get some hype or some interest if we connect this with Daredevil, right? And then also make it M rated like Daredevil. That's what I think.
George, I mean, it's not a good show, but this show is kind of important for Daredevil, especially the last credit scene.
It's really, I mean, this is, do you want
That's what-
spoilers? Because
Yeah,
there's
this is a
you
spoiler
do
show.
not need to watch the show.
You just need to watch
This
the
is
last
my
credit.
take. Yeah, all you
You
need
missed
to
out on
know
Daredevil too.
is the
Let's be honest.
post-credit scene, and that's it. There's nothing, to be honest, like, if Echo appears again, you don't even need to watch the show.
She will. I think it's a foregone conclusion. She will.
Because it's self-contained, the story's done. She doesn't really, this show, like, the show wasn't terrible, right?
Yeah, she gave
wasn't-
up. She gave up her thrust for revenge on Kingpin.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible show, but it was like, you could
Mid-show.
definitely
Middle show.
tell. Yeah, you could definitely tell that it was like not needed. Like there was no real point to this other than, okay, let's make a native superhero. And I've said this before, there's better native superheroes in Marvel Comics than Echo. Echo
And
has never really played up the native part of her character. Even in her like the
The na-
Daredevil comics. So
the native stuff did not like they should have explored it more because it's not like some of them did not
they
make
didn't
sense.
need, in my opinion, they didn't need to explore more. It was just a bunch of gobbledygook that ruined her
Hype.
character.
Yeah, but I'm questioning. Her name is Maya Lopez. Is she also Latino?
I don't really know how that all worked out. I did think about that too, like, but I don't know. I just think the whole like I get what they were trying to do with the healing and the
Agreed.
generational, and that they were
Oh,
the generational family was all separated. I get that part, but like I felt like you could have done that for another native Marvel character that would have lived on better, right? That actually had these magical powers, right?
Actually, there's not going to be a lot of MCU content until this year, till July. Well, maybe some animated stuff, but that's it. Till July.
Yeah, I think the animated stuff, and that's it.
Yeah. This year, especially, we're taking a little break, but yeah, like the Native American stuff, like I highly respect that, all of that. But the thing is, I don't want to butcher the tribe because I want to get what's the tribe's name?
Yeah, it starts with a C. I'm bad with butchering it too.
Yeah, like you got to be careful, right? I'm gonna try to look for it here.
Yeah, I like the whole like origin with the cave and all that stuff like that. That was fine. It just doesn't fit her character.
Choctaw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a tribe in Oklahoma.
Okay. Those characters, those cave people, where did they come from in the first place? Were they just in the cave?
Yeah, I don't like all that. That to me, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I guess it was like some native mythology mixed in there with, like, okay, we're gonna make this MCU-fied, but it wasn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it wasn't needed for her character. Like, it felt like the writers didn't even bother reading anything Echo related, and just were like, let's just do our own thing. That's what it felt like.
They should just give her no powers.
No, her powers. This is
either
what I don't understand.
Or the show no powers. This like.
No, I feel like if you there's no point of doing Echo without doing what they did in the comics, right? It doesn't need to be the exact same, right? It doesn't, but it needs to be along the lines of she is a mirror to Daredevil, but she's sort of on the opposite side, and that's
Yeah,
what
where she's
it's
deaf and he's
conflicting
blind.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yeah, and her powers comes from the fact
yeah,
that because she's deaf, she has to pay attention and
yeah.
actually look at people, and that's how she gets her powers. She's not It's not like Taskmaster. It's similar to Taskmaster, but the thing is, like, if the show was creative enough, or if they understood Daredevil, then they could actually pull it off where people wouldn't even bring up the Taskmaster comparison. The only reason why people are saying Taskmaster is because people didn't actually, they don't know Echo, and they just think,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
she's mimicking her powers, right? Like, or it's like the similar. What did Degrassi say? I didn't catch it.
He's joining you guys.
He said,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm really thinking, yeah. Well, I don't. Here's the thing. Like, I do think it's. I've always felt like, what else could they really do, right? Like, besides introduce characters that we wanted,
It's,
right? Like,
it's,
and they
it's
kind of
just
messed that up too.
it's one of the worst season finales for MCU show too.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too.
Yeah.
That season finale is really bad. The,
I
the
think Moon Knight
show was
I think
okay
Moon
up
Knight
until
had a
that
better
point.
season finale, honestly.
Yeah, which is saying something.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just corny, like to have
Oh,
like I said, I get it. I understand. I'm not stupid. Like, okay, it's supposed to be about generational trauma and they were all broken up, and so
yeah.
they're all connected in that sense and they all have the power. I get that. But having the granny break out and fight the dudes, like,
Or then the sister.
and then the sister, it was just too on the nose and it was really corny. It wasn't well executed. None of the show from an action standpoint is well executed. It's fairly generic. There's not much going on. They don't really use her powers in clever ways
Like,
besides the healing. Again, that's what I'm saying. The
I
show is
want to
just sort of
know.
mediocre.
So let's go through this show, right? Let's go through this show. So
Right.
we get episode 1. We get a young Maya Lopez with his cousin. We get the father who Hawkeye killed, right? Obviously from
Right.
when he was Ronin. His wife, Echo's mother, and we get the
Mhm.
grandparents who later on, 20 years later, end up being split. They get divorced, right?
Yeah, which by the way, did they never explain why they got divorced?
Yeah,
Or did I
yeah.
miss that? Because I was
I don't
like
think
confused.
I don't know. So obviously, what happened was Echo wanted hot chocolate, I believe. And it was storming, it was raining, it was dark,
Yeah,
and the mother's like, "Yeah, okay, okay. Oh, let's go out and get some hot chocolate." And then
right.
obviously the rain and all of that was getting in the way.
No, but it
She
wasn't just that. It was
Lord,
the dad was he's a criminal, right?
yeah,
And so
he's a
he's in the
criminal.
criminal world. And so what happened was that one of like someone was trying to get at him and they cut the brakes.
That's the thing. That's one of the thing. And he mentions in the hospital the Lopez boys, right? Isn't
Yeah.
he a Lopez? So what
Yeah,
happened
that's
there?
what she was trying to say. She was trying to say that you were the reason why she died because
Is he because he's
no one
betrayed
would
his?
have cut that break if it wasn't for him, right?
Is it because he maybe went against his own family to
No, it
marry
was
into
just
their?
that he was part of this criminal underworld,
Oh,
right? And so
oh,
he was just like, you know what? Since you don't want me to stay here, then I'll go to New York. And then he just got further into it, right? And that's why he worked with
yeah. That's the
Kingpin.
thing. That's the thing. We find out like how did Fisk all of a sudden? Why did Fisk? Why did you want to hire local criminals from a small a native town? Why? Like it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Like
Well, yeah, I mean, they didn't really explain
yeah.
cer-
Like,
certain things. Like that's another thing about the show, right? Is that first episode, it feels like it's
a lot of
like,
archive footage too.
yeah, it's a lot of archive footage, a lot of stuff from Hawkeye, re-explaining certain things, and the thing is, like, it almost felt like they didn't have enough material, and that's why they came up with the
It's five
idea of, oh,
episodes.
let's make this. Well, yeah, it's 5 episodes, but also let's make this not really connected to the MCU, even though it is connected to the MCU.
Yeah.
It's just like, to be in my personal opinion, it was an excuse. It's an excuse for
Yeah.
they didn't have there was obviously problems with the show.
It's an excuse because a lot of people are pushing back on it. Fans and
Yeah,
everybody.
it's an excuse. It's
Yeah.
totally an excuse in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't care what
And
anybody says. Yeah.
look, the archive footage we saw that obviously in Hawkeye, right? And
Right.
then after the father's death, um, Fisk really takes her in, right? Like takes her in as her own. Like she always saw her as a daughter, but at the time takes her in because just she doesn't have a father anymore. and then we
Right.
see how she has to build up her criminal career, right? Her criminal career,
Right.
because and then she knows she encounters Daredevil, and I'm sorry, when Fisk said, "Well, you went toe to toe with Daredevil." No, Daredevil wiped the floor with her. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
don't even know. First off, like that whole action sequence was bad.
Yeah.
Like it was not. I don't think it was well put together. I think the only thing that was like cool about it was that Daredevil was like doing parkour and he was flipping around, which we never really got to see, right? Besides that, it, it was just like it was just not a good showcasing, and you could tell too that that action scene was like either a
Mhm.
reshoot or they stuck that in there because after that action sequence, there's not really one until like what the third episode, I think. Like they have the train sequence. I'm
That's
trying to
not
think,
really an
is it the
action
third or
sequence.
the fourth?
Third
It's like
episode, the third episode. I think the third
whatever the
episode.
roller rink episode
That's the third
is.
episode.
Okay, then yeah, that's the third episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show doesn't have a lot of action, to be honest, and the action is
No.
very generic. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not good action.
no. No. I mean that first episode, like, uh, it's a lot of archive footage, and obviously you see the scene where she shoots Kingpin in the eye. Well, I tended to kill him, obviously, and then
Right,
she goes back to Oklahoma to find her roots. Right. To go back to where she was born. Obviously, she didn't want to see her family. Right. She didn't want to see her family.
right.
Because she felt like
And
her
that's
family disowned her
yeah,
and her
but that's
dad.
another part that's confusing. That's
Yeah.
another part that's confusing because they say that certain like Bonnie reached out to her and then she said nothing to Bonnie. And then certain
Yeah.
family members reached out to her when her father died. She didn't say anything to them. Um and then she just has this like built up bitterness. And you're like,
Yeah.
but they reached out to you. So like what's the
Yes, they
problem,
did.
right?
They did. They did. Um, like when she met her Uncle Henry, who is the brother of her father, right? Who owns the roller
Right.
skate, right? She knew about his brother because he was because they were part of the same gang. They were working with Fisk,
Right.
right? He's the reason he went back to Oklahoma, right? He wanted to get out, right? He
Right.
wanted to get out of that business. And that's why he didn't want that for he said that he didn't want that in the second or first episode. He did not want that for his niece, right? Because his niece was
Mhm.
helping him eventually becoming the queen, right? Queen pin, I guess they call it, right? And
Yeah, she was like she's trying to get revenge, right?
but then yeah,
On Kingpin for no, she well at that point, here's the thing, that's why it's really confusing this entire show because the initially she doesn't know that Kingpin is
alive.
alive, right? And this is why the show is so muddy and so all over the place because for like two episodes she's like doing this. She's really just trying to take back the reins from Kingpin, and then it's revealed, oh no, Kingpin is still around, and then her like motivation sort of like goes away, and it's not replaced by anything. Like you're just sort of confused, like what is she doing up until this point, right?
Hmm.
I guess she's like trying to make this decision to go with Kingpin, but it's like, why is she trying to make this decision when she tried to kill him anyway? That's the problem with the show. The show just doesn't understand. First off, it didn't build up the relationship with Echo and Kingpin. It should have been a much longer show that spent that first episode, in my opinion, should have been much more in depth. Forget about the stuff that you showed in Hawkeye. Actually show us
Hmm.
leading up to the father's death, like her relationship with Kingpin, right?
Yeah.
So we can actually understand that, oh, she actually
We
saw him as another father, right?
we got that. We got the flashback scenes in the karate class with the Kingpin, and then
Yeah, but that was also in
and
Hawkeye.
the only remember flashback scene I remember is the show was not it was the episode 4 or 5. I think it was episode 4 with the ice cream when the Kingpin beat up the shit of the ice cream man. Because
That was but I'm talking about in the first episode,
I
right?
know,
That was something we already saw because
I
remember we
honestly,
didn't see Kingpin in that scene at all in Hawkeye, right?
yeah,
It was like supposed to be a tease. Oh, that's Kingpin, right? And then we finally saw him. The show was recycling stuff. The whole recycling stuff is what really took away from the show, right? Because it was rushed. that was like the
Yes, it was.
best material to set up the ending, right? Where she has like this conflict. And that's what I was also saying too. Like people just don't understand that Echo is so tied to Daredevil in her origin story that when you remove Daredevil, like to me it's sort of like what's the point, right? It's sort of like making Robin a standalone character. It's like it doesn't really work. The characters so entwined with each other and there's a thematic story told there. So that's why I say you have to connect it, right? From there, after that, you could do whatever. But if the show was really about Kingpin trying to take her back even though she tried to kill him, and Daredevil being like, hey, no, you have to like you actually have to become a hero, right? You have to stand up to him. That would have been a better conflict, right? It was like Daredevil and her family trying to convince her, hey, you got to be a hero, right? But instead, the
Mm.
family just saw her as like a criminal, right? It was like, what?
Most of
Why
them.
not make her? Yeah, why not try to like see that she or like try to make the family understand that she was, oh, she's actually maybe like involved with the superhero stuff, right?
Mhm.
And that Kingpin is really just holding her back. Like it would have been interesting to see Kingpin have a dinner with her family, like her actual family, right? And see like, oh, he's like kind of manipulating and he's trying to like work his way into the family, even though, hey, you're a criminal boss and you don't really understand the family, right? Like
Mhm.
things like that. It just felt like the show again just never played with the idea of the relationship. They never understood it and they try to do their own thing, and what they try to do wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't that interesting. The whole like native generational
No.
trauma, it's sort of a trope, it's sort of like a cliche at this point, right? um and they didn't really say anything new with it, so it was just a waste of a character in my opinion, because Echo, I keep saying this, Echo has a really cool, after all the Daredevil stuff, when she joins the new Avengers and she's Ronin, because remember, Echo was Ronin first, right? Then and then like later on, I think they gave it to other characters, right? But she was Ronin and she was there to sort of help the new Avengers fight against the Hand, right? Because the
Mhm.
Hand was rising up and the Avengers really couldn't deal with the Hand, right? And so Captain America went to Daredevil and Daredevil was like, because this was all happening during Civil War, right? So Daredevil was like, hey, I can't do anything about the Hand, right? Because they're watching me because of the Superhero Registration Act,
Yeah.
right? And so Captain America's like, well, can you give me someone else? And he recommended Echo, right? And Echo is basically, she can take on a lot of people. She's a fucking badass character. And the fact that they just don't understand is let me read this comment. Hold on. S- Or no golden parachute for him. That's pretty crazy.
Mhm.
He should, to be honest, he should just walk away. Like if it's like if he's actually like stressed out by it, he should just walk away. Moon Knight is another character too that it seems like this is what I don't understand, right? And this is why I get into arguments with people on Twitter and I just don't get it, right? It's still an adaptation. You can change it, you can mold it, but the core of the character is what needs to stay the same,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't it's again, if Batman wears a Batman costume, you can't change that, right? That's part of the adaptation, right? You can't make Spider-Man a giant spider. That's not what you know what I mean? Like you're at that point, just make a new character, right? Do something totally different. So that's what I'm trying to say. That Echo is
Spider-Man
so
4.
tied with Daredevil and his world and his story that removing him, you don't have much. And the stuff that you replaced it with wasn't that interesting. Personally, I did not like Moon Knight. As
Yeah.
someone who liked as Moon Knight as a character, I didn't like that show.
Okay. The thing with this shows is that there's holes in this show. Um, Definitely the Daredevil thing was like the we all
It's
like when I got.
disappointing.
I mean, I thought the tribe like I didn't think this was gonna take place in Oklahoma. I thought like the native tribes gonna be somewhere like in New York or something, right? Like
Right.
somewhere in New York, out of New York City or something like up somewhere in the state. And I was like, whoa, okay. Because the trailer misled everybody. Because the trailer, most of the stuff we saw in the trailer was really in the first episode,
Right.
right? Like you would think, because we saw the trailer, you think everything was in New York, and everything, but no, it was all flashbacks from New York. Everything took place in that small town, Oklahoma. I guess it makes sense. It's yeah, but this is supposed to be this technically.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
Born
Echo was
Again,
supposed to be too.
No, well, this is another thing too. Echo should have just been in the Daredevil Born Again story
Yeah, could have, yeah.
as a supporting character, and then you could make a spin-off show if you really wanted to. But they this is what I'm saying, that the MCU, like, and I'm trying to like catch up and watch the stuff that like skipped out on for the MCU, right? Like Secret Invasion and What If. And I'm watching What If and I'm just like, this is also bad too. Like it wasn't like, I just don't know what Marvel's doing. I really don't know, and I really don't know why people are trying to hype this up like, oh, this is like the best Marvel's ever been.
M-
It's like,
Moment,
no,
Mark,
not even close.
Marcus. No MCU show is Marvel's best. So only the movies are, because the movies have to, because they're the ones that make money.
To be honest, there's not even Marvel's only hope um is honestly Secret Wars. Everything
Yeah,
else, like, everything else is just them
you need Deadpool
like I
to do
said,
good though. They need
no,
Deadpool.
but that, like, but we keep saying this, Deadpool is not their property. Deadpool was never developed by the MCU. Um and they're
Yeah,
only using it as an excuse to be like, oh, this is going to be a No Way Home, right? Like, as if that didn't, as if people aren't already fed up with the multiverse stuff.
Born Again's under Marvel, so is Wonder Man. Yeah. This was the first Marvel Spotlight show, but
Yeah, which I think was Damage Control.
but I'm just saying, like, it has to rely, on the movies. So
I
well
really
behind.
think the only movie they really, if they'd,
So well
to be honest, I think they should just accept that the MCU is done, finish it with Secret Wars, and then reboot. Just move
Right.
on. Like, this thing is getting way too convoluted now, and I think it's the reason why. I, I think what always held back, and we were talking about this, and we kind of got into some debate on Saturday, but I really think like the whole superhero genre, like, the reason why it's being held back is, one, they don't do anything new with the characters. There's continuity, and those are the big problems, right? And I think the only character who, even though he has continuity, the only character I feel like escapes from this is Batman. Batman is like the only consistent character who gets redefined. He gets new sort of like takes on the character, and people like it and they enjoy it, right?
I
But
said
like
this to
for
Grassy. Like Batman, you're right, because Batman it's like they treat Batman differently than any comic book character in
yeah,
Hollywood.
I don't
Hollywood in
really
general.
understand. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. What I mean, maybe that I have always said this, Batman is, like, anytime you pick up a Batman comic, or if you
So
play
well
Batman, you
understandable.
watch Batman, Batman as a character, I think, is a lot more interesting. The villains are a lot more interesting. They don't even need to be villains. That's the thing too,
Yes.
right? You can I mean, if someone wanted to, you can make a story where Joker's the hero and Batman's the villain, right? You could do stuff like that, and they're not gonna be so upset, right? Because you could play around and do different things.
Uh,
But with a character like Spider-Man, what was like the newest take on
I don't
Spider-Man?
know.
It's
I don't know.
not. We haven't really. I mean, the Ultimate Spider-Man that we're getting is pretty new. Superior
It's like
Spider-Man, that was 10 years ago. I mean, I don't,
yeah,
like,
that's true. It's like with Batman. I've noticed when superheroes get nominated for major awards, Batman's always like the number one superhero that gets nominated for major awards. Like
yeah, it's
Batman related
just
stuff.
because they need to experiment. Get rid of This is what they get rid of the continuity. Get rid of the continuity and let people just do whatever they want with the character. Put them into different
Mhm.
genre. You know what I mean? Actually make a horror Doctor Strange comic or movie that has nothing to do with the 616 universe. Do stuff like that, right? Like bend the character, change it up, put them in a new setting, that's what they need to do. Like the characters are like people keep saying they're kind of like Greek mythology, right? So if it's like Greek mythology, why not play with it? Why not experiment?
Let me tell you
You know?
something. Like, if more.
I
Oh,
like those. I like the directors. I mean, I think they're trying to do their best for the show, but
here's
it
the thing.
might be too late though. It
If the
might be too late.
speculation if the speculation is that some of this is going to lead to Spider-Man 4, it's not going to be what you guys think it should be. I'm sorry, because Spider-Man 4 is not going to
Yeah.
be dark like this.
But then why would anybody want Spider-Man 4 to be I keep saying this, like why does it have to be Devil Rain? Like why can't it be
It
the
won't be
black
Devil
suit
Rain. It
stuff?
might be the Daredevil series, but like if Kingpin ends up in Spider-Man 4 or whatever, or it's just not going to be dark because Spider-Man's not. They're not going to make Spider-Man a dark character, like a dark movie with Spider-Man. I'm sorry,
Right.
I'm sorry, but like Spider-Man, like look, Spider-Man is the one comic book character, even more than Superman, that's meant for kids. I'm sorry.
Right.
He's like the
There's
biggest.
no way they're gonna completely change it.
Yeah, Spider-Man is like the biggest kid superhero fan. Like Spider-Man is like the big for kids. Spider-Man is like the number one hero. Batman, you can
Right.
say Batman is not that, guys. I'm sorry, but Batman is the most popular DC character. But for kids, it's actually Spider-Man is the most popular hero.
Right.
Character.
Yeah, I agree, George. There's the MCU stands. They're getting on my nerves. Seriously, getting on my nerves because they're like they love the MCU, but then when you criticize the MCU, saying, "Oh, this is not what it was in the comics," or "Hey, the comics did better," or you have just any sort of general criticism for whatever show, they're ready to jump on you. They're ready to excuse it. They're ready to say, "Oh, like why are you making fun of the MCU?" It's like they always got to baby it and pamper it, and it's like like Echo's just not a good show. Like it's not me trying to be rude to, that native community or the people who made the
It's
show. It's just not a good show. It's not worth anybody's time. That's
it's so
really it.
funny when I saw the reviews for Echo, right? Like
All of
people,
all these superhero stands, it
yeah,
doesn't matter. You hyping up stuff and thinking, oh, it's gonna be good.
Echo.
That's the
I
problem, in my opinion.
I see that. Remember last week when we got Echo coming out to his reviews, like on the day or the day of. Oh, Echo is a really good show, one of the best shows MCU. Then they get the full detailed. They go full day review. Oh, slow pace, not exactly blah 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 stuff like this, right? They get in the full
Right.
review reveals some of it contradicts some of the stuff they were saying. Like
Right. Yeah, some of these reviews for the Echo Show, like I never took serious. I don't take any person who posts on Twitter that the moment the social media embargo lists,
mhm.
we know it's like clockwork. It's a whole joke. They will say it's the best MCU show ever. It's the best
They said
MCU
for the movies
movie.
too.
Yeah, they always say this. They always like, oh, it's a triumph. It's a
Yeah.
joke. It's a joke when they do shit like that because it
It's,
diminishes the actual product, and it also just makes this whole community look like
it's
a fucking joke.
the
Like they
MCU.
just look like shills. I'm
The
sorry.
MCU is like the only franchise that has that. Like I know there's shows for franchises, but
Yeah.
it seems like the MCU is like the only one that gets.
Well, I mean, the other one that I would say is PlayStation, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's for video games.
PlayStation has that Marvel effect where the moment the reviews drop, everybody's saying it's the best thing ever. And you're like, well, what the fuck? It's the
Mhm.
best thing ever since the last thing?
I
Like,
remember
come on.
that always used to be the tagline: "The best movie since Endgame."
Yeah,
So so
that's what they
so
do.
so Black Widow would have been a bit if Black Widow was the first movie since Endgame, right? No, no, no. Actually, no, no, no. The best. No, actually, the Spider-Man movie was actually. I'm sorry, but Spider-Man was better than Endgame. I mean, was better than Black Widow, the one that came in 2019.
Well, whatever it is, they'll say, oh, it's the best thing ever. And
And I'm sorry, but
yeah,
Endgame. I like Infinity War better than Endgame.
I like Infinity War better than Endgame too.
It's Endgame. Look, Endgame wasn't a bad movie, but it was really a slow movie. The best part is really the last 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes was one of the best part of the whole MCU. But if you really think about it, it wasn't really that great of a movie for the first most part.
Yeah, I don't hold on. Pull up Degrassi's comment because
Which one?
when he talks about James Gunn. Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think James Gunn will make something that's bad, but I think people what Superman Legacy needs to do. I don't think we should put that pressure on that movie because I don't think it's gonna change the genre. I mean, he is talking about it as if he does want to change the genre, but
You
at the
did.
same time, it's like
You did.
like you can't force something to come back. You know what I mean? It had
You
its
did.
time.
You
Move
did make
on.
a
Let's
great.
find something else.
You did bring up a good point on Tony's Gabbing Geek streams. How we're having a little bit debate about how to bring kids and teens back into comic books.
Right.
You did say something about Superman. That's very interesting. How Superman doesn't resonate with people.
Yeah, I've seen this. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but there's a lot of people on Twitter who are probably like in my age group, right?
Mhm.
Who they think Superman's like really generic. Um and he's just not like super interesting. And I think that's just because again, I think people either I think Superman is just he represents the archetype of a superhero, and so people are not as interested. And that's the fault of DC. I mean, DC. I mean, I think that's even why people like Zack Snyder's Superman is because Zack Snyder's Superman is so different. Think about it. He's really different from the classic Superman, and it's a lot more edgier, right?
Did
And I think that's why people like it. Or
Marcus?
at least a younger demographic likes it.
Marcus, were you okay? Allegedly, allegedly this not what
Well,
that's what she did is considered wrong.
she kicked someone in the head. Don't even
Yeah,
highlight
on
that
purpose.
comment, man. Don't even highlight that comment.
And what she also apparently did, like when that background actor was in the bathroom or something, and she went like followed him or her and like yelled at him and stuff
Marcus, if you get kicked in the head on your workplace
on
and people are
purpose.
like, yeah, come on. Come on.
Yeah,
The thing is though, what Degrassi's saying, right? Like he's not trying to change anything. I mean, he sounds like he is aware that the genre has a problem, and I feel like it does need some change. So I'm like, if he doesn't really change it, I don't think
I
it's
think
gonna last.
I think Marcus likes. I think Marcus would want to get kicked in the head by her. It sounds like.
He says he don't mind. Okay, so he's definitely joking then. Not the typical Marcus Cruz comment where he's dead serious and says crazy shit. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. The Zack Snyder Superman, I feel like resonated with a weird demographic of people. It's just nothing like Superman. Like all of a sudden now people love Batman versus Superman. Like I don't know where these people came from. It
I
was
mean,
like, where were you in 2016?
Henry Cavill didn't even like his own Superman. Okay.
No.
Okay. Like he
I,
said
I
that.
just I don't know. I want to see something different from Marvel and DC, like something
Yeah.
we
This
don't typically see. That's the only reason why I criticize it. It's
usually
like I've seen enough. Can I get something different?
usually in these shows, even the bad Marvel shows, there's usually a character I like, and I
Right.
don't know if I like any character in this show. Honestly, um,
In this Echo show,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't find Echo like interesting as a character.
no.
Um, she's just kind of she didn't like some people are saying she wasn't likable. I wouldn't say she wasn't likable. I just think you didn't really get to know her very well. You didn't.
Are we like? Are we supposed to feel bad for her? I mean,
No, but like her whole motivation is very like
yeah,
selfish. It's
yeah.
to
Are
take
we?
over a criminal empire and do what exactly?
Yeah, like we should not feel bad for her, man. I'm sorry, but
Right.
her family is involved in crime. She got involved with crime. She murdered. She did all this. Yeah, maybe she was groomed into it or whatever, right? But I'm sorry. once you get to a certain age where she was, you're responsible. Kingpin's not responsible. You're responsible for your, like, whatever. I'm sorry,
She
like,
just, I don't know, the whole, I don't even really understand what the writers were trying to do. Like what, like she wants to take over this empire to do what exactly? Like is she going to like
this is
just
true
keep
too.
running it as it is? Is it like that's the part I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kingpin just felt, I mean like you did like I just never understood like why is he so fixated on Echo? Like
I know. I
when
think
you
I know
think
why.
he wouldn't you think there's other kids of, his employees that he's like sort of like treating like his own kids?
Doesn't he have his own? Doesn't he have his own kid in the comics?
He does. We don't, the MCU have like there's a rumor that we might see his son,
The-
but we don't know if that's 100% true.
He yes, we know he had a wife in their Netflix show, but I think they're switching the wife. I think it's a new actress for
Yeah, it
MCU,
is a new actress.
and I think we might have seen her a little bit in the show. I don't remember. Was she in the show?
No, she was not in the show.
But like I know Fisk has like a son or like yeah, I felt like maybe this Fisk, I don't know. The thing with Fisk in Echo's relationship, I don't think I know his Fisk is a sociopath like that, but I think he really did care for Echo. I think that was real, genuine
But
love for
but
Echo. Yeah,
but
like
why?
I don't know. He
That's what
has
I'm
his own.
saying. We only see her as like a kid, like why? And we see her. Okay, yeah, she's in the criminal empire,
Is
but like,
does just
couldn't
not
they
hate him? I don't
couldn't they
know.
show something with her and him as an adult, and they were like she genuinely saw him as a father? Like what I wanted to see was like, what they should have done? They should have had a scene like
Was he
this.
like
This is what you would have
was he the
made us
Godfather? I don't
understand.
know.
It should have been like, when her father dies, right? That scene continues, right? And he's the one like, oh, she's like there holding her dead dad, and Kingpin comes in and she runs to him and is like crying, right? And then he's the one like, okay, I'm gonna take care of you, right? Um, like that would have made sense, right? And then you see over time he's like actually like caring about her because he feels guilty for what he did. That would make sense. That would make sense. But the show is not, they don't show that. They don't show that. They don't
Yeah.
do it. And therefore you're sort of confused. You're like,
See,
what was the point of this? Why am I, do I care about this relationship? Is it, like, and people have the nerve to say like Kingpin is like Thanos. Kingpin is only like Thanos because of the Netflix shows, not because of what the MCU is doing with him
no, he's not gonna
currently.
be. He's gonna just be the, I guess, a mini kind of. That it's more like I guess it's the New York version of mini Thanos. Like
Yeah,
trying to
but
take
they
over.
never made him like in the show like he's
Now they
not like
will.
a sympathetic character. He's
No,
not he's not like
they try to make him sympathetic here in a way because he's trying to. Well, not really, but he's trying to explain his reasoning for. I think because he was abused too. He says he was abused.
right.
So
It's it's
yeah.
kind of similar, but it's also kind of not similar. That's the problem.
hmm Like
Yeah, the
I
show is
wouldn't.
just the show just doesn't have good writers. The MCU doesn't have writers who can really understand certain characters like dynamic and relationship and also to another trend that I've noticed with these superhero stuff is like why doesn't the MCU explore more why these characters are heroes or like want to be heroes? It always feels like there's the villain that they have to defeat and that's why they're heroes. It's never like, okay, why am I morally trying to be this way, right? Like, why am I trying to like stick up for people, and why do I have to beat this villain? There's no like psychology to it. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing
Like
interesting about the MCU anymore. There's nothing. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care. Like watching the show, it didn't make me mad, but it just was like it's a nothing burger. It's like
you
eating
know
a
what?
bread with no meat in it.
The MCU used to do a good job with the heroes. Why they want to be heroes? Now it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a hero.
Yeah, it's just sort of like, eh.
Some of it, right? Like, um, and DC is the opposite, man. Why does Batman want to be a hero? We all know why. He doesn't do it for the glory and all that. Obviously, we know why he wants to be a hero. Superman too. Wonder Woman has a reason why. Um, I think Aquaman kind of like he wants to be a hero. He doesn't. He got kind
Right.
of pushed into it, but flat. I don't know what flat, but yeah, it was like it's weird. This show is no they should send a hitman after her instead of just hitman and group of men. Zane was Zane wasn't a hitman. Zane was terrible. Like the guy who played Zane, the white hand man of Kingpin, right? He went right like. Send a hitman or something. I'm sure Kingpin knows a bunch of hitmen, bunch of assassins. Like, send somebody, okay? I don't know. Like, send somebody, man. Like after her and her family. Like, Kingpin had to go all the way over there. And Kingpin, like, this is the second time where Kingpin gets kind of manhandled. Well, he didn't really get beat up here, but he kind of got beaten somebody weaker in a way. Like,
Right.
are we supposed to take Kingpin seriously as a physical threat? I know he's huge and stuff, but seriously, if Hawkeye could beat her, I mean, Hawkeye got lucky. I think Echo got lucky. Well, she did use powers, but I don't know if I want King. I really don't know if I want Kingpin. I mean, he obviously is gonna be a Devil Reborn, but I really don't know if I want him to be like just a main focus of that show.
Like I mean, I don't mind if he's the main focus, but like I don't want it to just be a retread of the Netflix Daredevil shows.
I had some other villains that
There probably are. I heard they're gonna add Muse. Muse is a character that and also his son. That's another rumor too. Is that his son, Richard Fisk, who is a Spider-Man villain.
And you know what I want to see? I want to see Richard Fisk. You know what I want to see in Daredevil? I want to see other New York gangs. Okay.
Well, I kind of want to see other, like, if they are gonna do Devil Reign, right? They're gonna have to do other superheroes. That's kind of the whole point of the story,
Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, like, well, we know, like, Spider-Man, obviously, because they're local New Yorker, right? With Matt, we know. Obviously, we know. Well, we'll see if Jessica Jones is coming back. Well, I assume they're in the universe since it's canon now, but. So yeah, we'll know if the Defenders, I guess you could call them, right?
Yeah, like all the street level heroes, like how they would react, and I don't know. I don't know. There's we'll see. We'll see.
It is 18 episodes. I think it's gonna be like part 1, part 2, 9 episodes, then some later it'll be the last 9. I don't think I'm gonna do 18 episodes all at once. That's what I think it's gonna do. But yeah, you're right. But like, add some other villain. I mean, you said add some gangs to other gangs, because New York there's a bunch of other gangs. Like there's Tombstone's gang, for Spider-Man. You know, you can add Tombstone Daredevil, right? Who cares?
I mean, I don't know if they're allowed to do it because of Sony, but
who cares? Tombstone. Sony's gonna use Tombstone. Come on, Tony Tombstone's like, yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
I don't know. The MCU just with the Daredevil stuff. If they really want it to be successful, then they have to set it up. Like they can't just jump right into Devil's Reign. Like,
yeah, we know.
You kind of have to have some other characters you could play with. Like it's not just the Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. They kind of need maybe like White Tiger. Who some other street level characters I could think of? Oh yeah, Misty Moon, right? Is it Misty Moon? Or am I messing it up? The girl with the robot arm. Misty Knight, yeah, sorry. Let me and then you could have obviously the
Doctor Strange
and Iron Fist.
Doctor Strange was there, New York.
I mean, Doctor Strange is Doctor. I don't know. I was just more street level characters.
I know, but Doctor Strange does live in New York. I mean, we can't be can't patrol at times. I know.
They don't need to. Like Shang-Chi would have been a character that could have also appeared here, but now he's in the movies.
He's from the west side of the U.S., San Francisco, I think.
I guess you can have Moon Knight. Moon Knight is in New York anyway.
Yes. Well, I thought was it New York or London?
New York.
In this show.
At the ending. The ending.
Okay.
The ending. He goes to New York.
He's from America. He originally was from America. Then he ended up in London later in the show. He went back to America, right?
He was in London in the beginning, but at the ending, after he leaves the
He was born in the
hospital,
States, right? He was born in the States, I
I don't
think.
know if yeah, he's supposed to be born in the States, yeah, because they
Yeah,
show that.
yeah.
Um, I mean, but they have. I mean, maybe that's what they could be doing, is like setting up all the characters, the street level characters to team up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to be street level characters that people want to see, like they actually care about, and therefore you need to set it up. Like Marvel should just come out and say, you know what, we're just gonna like do new seasons of the Defenders, right? Like do a new season of the Defenders. It only got one season.
Nobody's gonna riot, man. People are just gonna trash MCU on Twitter, social media. It's not gonna be who riots for stuff like this. Let's put some science. Let's get some science and pick an MCU. Make the MCU great again.
Nah.
uh
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a lot of hyping up stuff. I don't even care if Deadpool 3. I mean, if Deadpool 3 is bad,
Super Bowl. Come on, Super
I think it's possible that that movie just something about that movie, man. Something might.
Bowl.
You
Yes.
never know. You never know with movies, man. I feel like something could either it could like click or people could just reject it. It
I
doesn't
know
even
you
need to be bad. People could just reject it.
I know you said Deadpool has like Deadpool 3 might be done by Fox, but it's still gonna have MCU influence in it, like the Sonic movies.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's the problem that
yeah.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. Do people does the average Joe know that the Deadpool 3 is now connected with the MCU? Do people know that? That's the thing I'm not like 100% sure on.
They'll know if they watch if the TVA is in it. If they watch that. That's the thing, is a lot of people watch the TVA. From evidence of the Marvels, a lot of people did not nobody that did not help because a lot of people did not watch
No,
the
that didn't. That's
shows.
what I'm saying. Like if people show up to Deadpool 3 and then they see them have the TVA and then they go,
Who's that?
"What the fuck is this?" Yeah,
Who's
like are
Mobius?
people going to be okay with that? Like
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are, but like, I. Oh, that's the phone. I'm sorry. The new Avengers is gonna. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys.
Hold on, I might have to step away for a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's why they're going back to fixing it. Hope to fix the mess. Yeah, they kind of do their own the Fox properties. Okay, with the show, like I said, the show. I do think, I do think Kingpins does, and Blind will be back. I do think Kingpin really does care for Maya. I think that's genuine. It's, I think he would does care for Maya, really does. Um, it's quite odd. Uh, I think he really does. Like, okay. I think that's real. Um, the family dynamic. I thought the sister reunited thing was how they reunited, how they saw each other was, I don't know, uninspiring. Um, mine is her cousin Biscuits. Obviously, Biscuits is supposed to be the comedy foil of that team, the comedy. Okay, it's I don't know, man. The Native American stuff. Okay, That's fun. I mean, it was okay. I mean, the thing is, I want to know how those cave people came from, their origins. Maybe they're mutants or something. And it's like the powers Maya has developed. I don't know, man. I'm gonna wait for blinded. Why? Because he was. Yeah, I guess. I guess that's a hint. Hint. uh. So, I'll say this. They should do a better job of making Kingpin look like a threat, a bigger threat. Obviously, he's a Kingpin, right? He has to use his words, but the guy's freaking huge. Hawkeye beat him. Oh, Kate beat him. Maya, not Maya didn't technically beat him, but Maya's like, give up your hate, give up your anger, goes in his mind. What did you do? Where's that from? Where's that from? Where's that line from? When Kingpin, yeah, what did you do? Oh, that's the exact same line from Supergirl Flash. Do you remember that? Remember in the Flash? That's what she yelled. Spurs, Mavericks, Celtics, Heat. Okay, yeah. It's a positive. They're doing something, diversity, all that, exploring other cultures, being cultures, all that, and but I know this show is trying to like make Maya a hero, a good guy, trying to get her sympathetic, but Maya's not a sympathetic character. I'm sorry, she's not a sympathetic character. Yeah, like villains. Look, villains. There's villains are not black and white people like heroes are, right? They're gray. They're gray, right? They're gray. They're in the gray, right? Of course, villains could love people, care about people, right? In some ways, villains could be a hero, could do good heroic things. Obviously, right? Obviously, right? And but like her motivation was selfish, revenge, and take over New York, right? It wasn't about family. Really. Okay. She came to see her uncle, asking for help to take down Fisk. He doesn't want to go down that road again. He left. Right. And remember, her grandma. Remember the grandma. Her grandma was the mother of her mother. Remember it. It was not the mother of the father. It was the mother of the mother. And she blamed her father for what happened to Maya's leg and what happened to her daughter. And they moved to New York, and he could still technically take control of the tracksuit mafia, who's still under control of Kingpin's part of Kingpin. Obviously works for Kingpin. And she knows the grandmother knows that as long as the father is still involved in crime, bad stuff is gonna happen to the family. Happened to the mother, happened to Maya's like costume. He is guilty of that, and she knows that, right? And obviously in New York, Ronin, when Clint became Ronin, right? He goes kills every gangster, mafia, whatever gangster there is, including the father. Now, obviously, Maya loves his father, but her father was involved in crime, and that's what happens, man. That's what happens, right? Right? But then Maya becomes kind of in charge of Traction Mafia in a way, and you see how how Kingpin kind of took more under her wing and basically one of her right hand women. Um, yeah, I like how are you supposed to feel bad for her? Seriously,
All right, I'm back.
it's just that scared me a bit. I'm sorry. I was just um like I'm saying this. Yeah, I mean like not all villains are black and white. They're gray, and obviously Maya's a gray character. It's just that I mean, it's just that her family, like is involved in crime. What do you think is gonna happen, man? People that you care about, even if you're in crime, are gonna get hurt.
Right.
It's gonna get hurt. It's no different being a superhero with a dandy. I'm sorry, like even in the Marvel universe, superheroes are a dandy. Tony Stark's a perfect example. They're gonna get hurt. They're gonna get hurt. They're gonna people they care about and hurt, especially if they're a dandy. What do you think? Right? Like
Right.
it's I don't like we call Tony Stark stupid, especially in Iron Man 3. Stupid. 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 He's an idiot. That movie made him look like an idiot at times. Say that. It's just and look, Maya in episode 4, one's away from her problems. One's away from her problems. Was planning to leave, right? Planning to leave.
Mhm.
Ditch Kingpin planning to leave, right? One away from her problems. Right? Now she comes back and like they just have to do better character. I just didn't feel anything for this show.
No, yeah. It's not a very good show. That's the thing,
No.
obviously. I mean, like I wanted to give it the benefit of doubt. Like I try to, because remember, I haven't really been watching MCU stuff. Like if it wasn't interesting to me, I didn't bother watching it, right?
No.
But with this show, I mean, I do like Echo as a character in the comics. Not to say like she's this amazing, my favorite character, I should say, right? But I mean, she can be really cool. So I don't like the stuff that they recently been doing to her. It seems like with characters, because this I feel like Echo in the comics is like similar to Captain Marvel, where it's like they just don't know what to do with them. Um, and maybe the characters just don't need to have their own solo story. Like maybe they can appear in other people's stories. Like like I don't know. It just seems like everybody needs a show or a movie, and I don't think that's necessary.
It's yeah, it's true. Like we all, this is the reason why it's a binge show. There's a
Yeah.
reason why. Okay, 5 episodes. Reason why it was actually supposed to be 6 episodes, and for some reason they made a finale only like 36 minutes. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, 36 minutes. Once a bad finale. Bad finale. Really, really bad finale. I'm glad they're cutting back on MCU shows and not overdoing them anymore.
Right.
Because I think they realize. I hope they realize quality over quality
Right.
over quantity, right? And you do need to cut the budget a bit and stuff. I mean, this show obviously the budget is cut compared to other MCU shows. You can clearly
Right.
tell. No, because they not need really. You do not really need a lot of technical, logical,
Yeah, special effects for
special
this.
effects. Yeah, obviously, right? In the show,
I mean, they do have some moments though, like
yeah,
especially with the flashbacks. Like there's that one
the flashbacks
flashback
for sure.
that had that opening, and you're like,
Mhm.
wow, that was that looked pretty expensive, but
Like, where the heck does
it's
people
only a
come
shot,
from?
I guess.
Where do those people come from? Like, where do those
Not
people?
just that one. The one where you like it was like a sports game.
Oh yeah, it was like I don't know what it was. It was like lacrosse or rugby. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
sort of. Yeah,
yeah. It looked like an early version of like not prehistoric, but pre lacrosse for before something like that. Like an
right.
early version of lacrosse, like as lacrosse evolved over the years. Because the natives technically did invent lacrosse. It is a native sport, but I don't think they invented it in the States though. I think that was in Canada.
Hmm.
Whatever. Whatever. Um whatever. How do you like the cast? I mean, like some of the actors. I recognize some of the actors. The grandfather has a
Yeah,
lot of Canadian shows.
right. Yes.
Because he's a
The
Canadian actor.
grandmother was just in uh
I
Killers
seen
of
it.
the Flower Moon.
Okay, yeah. And the father, I've seen the father before. I think he's on a show on FX, isn't he? FX
Uh
or AMC.
yeah, possibly. Yeah,
That show with the native cops, right? The native Texas Rangers or something. He's like a native ranger or sheriff or something.
right.
Yeah, I seen him in that. Um, I mean, like I can't name the names, but I've seen them before. Like they're recognizable. I said
Right.
that right. I've seen the Zane character actor before in a lot of stuff. Um, obviously Vincent Fario was obviously a lot of stuff. He really likes playing Kingpin. He really does. Um, he plays. I mean, he plays a
But
great
for how
villain.
long
Almost
though?
he plays a great villain in a lot of things. Let's be honest. Like he's a great villain.
Mm,
Right? Like a lot of stuff he's played, he's been kind of typecast as a villain in a lot of stuff, right?
right. Well, I mean, I mean, he's a good actor, so
Yeah. I see. I mean, there's actors who usually typecast as good guys or villains all the time. I'm okay with it as long as the villains or good guys are different are different, from
right.
other versions of villains or good guys, right? Like Vincent D'Onofrio when he plays different kind of villains, when he's typecast as a villain, they're not the same kind of villain, right? They're not the same kind of villain,
Mm,
right? Um, like Men in Black, he was obviously not as different, right? He's a different villain. Um, I like his. I mean, Jurassic. I think the best of the new Jurassic World movies from this past three was the first one. I think he played a kind of a not. I wouldn't say he's a villain per se, but kind of like not exactly a good guy, but not exactly a bad guy
mm,
because he did have good intentions with what he wanted to do with the Raptors, right? What
right.
he want, right? In his mind. Oh yeah, Prometheus was shit, and Alien was shit. I did not like those movies. I did not like those movies. What do you think, Blind? Do you like those movies?
Which movies?
Alien, Covenant, and Prometheus.
Oh, Alien Covenant. So no, I don't really like those movies. Prometheus, I probably like better than Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant is really bad.
Yeah. Is this is did he, well well I want I gotta say this. Uh Loki got nominated for Emmy Award yesterday. Did he?
Uh, I think it did. I
Why?
don't know what category. I think it did. I think some Disney stuff got nominated.
I know
I don't
Star
really
Wars
pay
did
attention
Andor.
to.
I think Andor did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
But
don't
like
really pay
but like
attention all that much.
Succession, and
Right.
like this is my opinion. There's too many award shows.
I'm just not interested in award
Yeah.
shows. I don't
Yeah.
watch it. It's boring. I mean, it's cool. Like, oh yeah, like The Bear won a bunch of Emmys, and it's like, oh yeah, I like that show. But it's like, I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Paul Mescal says acting should never be reduced to number of Instagram followers.
Well, it
Oh,
isn't, but
yeah, like look how many people dominated. Who dominated that award show? I think it's a problem when we have like 2 or 3 shows dominate every single award. I think that's a problem for the entertainment industry. I
Yeah, kind
yeah,
of. I mean, you kind of expect
yeah. Hey Arkham.
that. Yeah. Oh, what's up,
I
Arkham?
it really is a I think I know you do, but I think it's a problem when you have like 2 or 3 shows that dominate every single award. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good sign. I'm sorry. It's not a good sign. And I don't know what Barbie's getting nominated for so many stuff. Barbie is not an award-winning kind of thing. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I think like Barbie was good, but wasn't like groundbreaking. Like
No, I don't. Yeah, I think that was a little bit like I think people got a little
hype.
carried away with that.
Oh yeah, they got definitely carried away with that movie, huh? Like you could tell. Like it's still talked about them. Like it's still the most talked movie there is
It's
now.
probably because it was so different. Like we don't really get a lot of movies like that. Even though like I feel like Barbie was like it was kind of like the equivalent of an MCU, but like for women. That's what I felt like. Like it just wasn't really my thing, but yeah, it wasn't bad.
One
I don't
cape
like
shit.
musicals though. That's
The
the
only
one thing. I
cape.
don't like
The only
musicals.
cape shit that's really been nominated for awards has really been Batman for the past like 20 years. Like major
Well,
awards. There have been
no, Black Panther too, and
yeah,
Black
but like
Panther.
that's true. Black Panther has, but like Batman has been. I mean, the Dark
I mean,
Knight still.
Batman's more consistent.
Yeah, it's just the way directors want. Like Degrassi's told me this. You know, some directors make fun of MCU, DC. They never talk,
Yeah,
but when they talk about when it's Batman, it's different. It's just different.
right.
I don't know. Like I guess it's Batman because yes, Batman has the fantastic elements to them, like the characters with powers. But I think like Batman, you could like Martin Scorsese could like for example, right? He likes to do a lot of crime kind of stuff. Batman's like that, right? You could do it with Batman. Like
Mhm.
Batman's so damn versatile. Like, and there's a lot of stuff you could do with Batman compared to other comic book characters. I just think you don't see Batman as a joke compared to like Superman, Iron Man, Spider Man. You don't see Batman as a joke.
Right.
And there's just something different about Batman. Oh, of course. Cat movie. Ryan Gosling. Oh man,
Oh boy.
Ryan Gosling could do humor. He could do humor. He's always had that in him. Okay, because it's been like okay, studios not marketing musicals is stupid. Yeah, because it's a
I just
musical.
hate musicals. Can't stand musicals.
Yeah, video games MCU. Which video games?
I mean, I guess if I had to pick between video games and the MCU, I'd probably pick video games, of course.
Ryan Gosling is performing it. I think he says he's scheduled to perform this song at the Oscars. Simu Liu. Simu Liu would do any role now, man. uh, it's it's just yeah, I don't watch the award shows. It was just stupid having the Emmys last night with football going on. I'm sorry, like I'm sorry. I know they had to postpone it to blinded, right? They had to postpone the Emmys, obviously the strike, but to go up against playoff football was not a wise move.
Right.
And same with the award show, the Critic Choice Awards on Sunday. To go up against playoff football was not a wise move. Sorry, not a very smart move. Okay, and I don't know. The jokes are so bad. I don't know if it can be funny anymore. Like, I mean, like Taylor Swift. Apparently, Taylor Swift got offended at the was it Golden Globes, right? With
Hmm.
one of the jokes. Like, it's a problem. It's a problem now, right? Jokes. You make jokes now. Back 10, 20 years ago, you'll laugh at them. Now, they're not funny anymore. Either now because they're offensive. Now they're offensive. But so 10, 20 years ago, they're not offensive, but now they're offensive.
Yeah. Well, did you see actually speaking of
Yes, man.
jokes, because this is MCU related, did you see I think it was at the Golden Globes. They made a joke about the MCU and like people on Twitter were pissed off.
That's-
Yeah, there's this one account. One time I said something to him and then he was like chimed back at me. I was surprised. But he has like I think his avatar is like
oh,
him
Tom
as
Maloney.
Taskmaster.
Tom Maloney is kind of funny though, but like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, and there was all these people like, "Oh, why do you got to make fun of the MCU and shit?"
Why
It's so
not?
fucking That's the MCU fan base right now. They just slap up everything, man. They say everything is amazing. Like this account, like this guy says like the MCU's never been better. Like 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 I can't
He
even
always
get
has a
on with
point
these
that
people,
way.
man. The MCU's better than ever before. Like,
I,
are you fucking kidding me?
see, the thing is, Grass. You know why I'm not surprised? Because a lot of people don't want to see musicals in movies. They want to see a movie. They don't want to see concerts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
really like. Yeah, yes, that was the joke.
Yeah.
Winning an Oscar for a movie is like winning a yeah, that was actually funny. And they're, as George say, they're fucking snowflakes, man. Like they just, it's like every day. I can go. Let me go on right now and tell you what they're saying.
I like.
I really want to get away. The thing is, like, I want to see more video game stuff on my feed. But I just see more Marvel stuff, and it's like, I mean, sometimes I do want to talk about Marvel, but it's like every single freaking day. Like,
Hmm.
um, what is that account? I gotta find. Damn, I don't think I can find it because I don't remember his name. I just know his profile picture
This guy.
is. Let me see. I maybe. Hold on. Let me see.
See, the thing is, I think the Joker 2, if it's a musical, I think the Joker 2, people are gonna might lose interest in Joker 2 if it's truly a musical.
I don't think that's the account. Don't think that's the account. Let me see. He has a hold on. Mm, No, no, that's not the account I'm talking about. He has like a profile picture of himself as Taskmaster. That's the guy I'm
Both
talking about.
both sides have extremists. The right and the left have extremists, and they both have one thing in common: the far left and the far right. They all want the same thing, but they won't admit it: a form of fascism. Sorry to get a little political there.
Wonder if I can find it. Like just typing in MCU if I can find him.
All right. Yeah, there's people that suck up to the MCU all the time.
Yeah,
The thing
I'm
is,
not finding it. He appears on my feed ever so often. Let me see if I can. Okay, you know what? Hold on. When was that? Jeez, was that like a week ago now? Jeez.
oh man, I need you with it on my Doomcock stream. I want you to go after Doomcock talking about Zelda.
Mm, where? Damn, where the I'm not finding it. Mhm.
Have you seen Oh, it's Friday. Friday, George.
For
Friday
what?
night. The Doomcock stream. 4
Oh,
videos we're gonna go over. A lot of Star Wars and a lot of Zelda stuff. And the Star Wars stuff is gonna make you laugh because he has sources,
mm,
spies. I don't know. I think 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Yeah. Also,
damn, I don't think I can find this guy's stuff. Where is this guy? I wish someone knew his name. Because it's like I don't follow him. I just see him.
oh,
People like he just appears in my feed, and I'm like, oh, this fucking guy. He has a pretty big following too. There's a lot of these people on Twitter that like they have big followings and they're just really annoying. Like there's that other guy. I'm not sure if people know him. He's got like the Catwoman avatar, and he talks about like movie news and stuff. That guy's really annoying. Ever since he was trying to tell me, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna make like billions of dollars. I'm like, buddy, it's not even like tracking to do any of that. He
mm-hmm.
was like, no, it's still gonna make billions. Like it can open low and it can make billions. Well, the
Which
movie didn't
movie?
make a fucking billion.
Which
Guardians of the
movie?
Galaxy.
No, it made like 800, right?
Yeah, it made 800. Not a fucking over a billion. What this guy was trying to say. I was trying to say it's gonna land exactly where it did. And he's like, "Oh no, you're fucking underestimating it." It's like, buddy. That's what I'm saying. Like all the comic book, like movie people. Those are the people I just want to get away from. They're really annoying. They just hype up everything. They think everything is great and fantastic, and you're just like, none of it was really worth like my time at all. Like I gotta be honest. Like you can enjoy it, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's annoying when like all of a sudden like people just appear. Like you would say, "Oh, this is not good," and then you got people fucking coming at you and like, You're a fucking idiot," and it's like, buddy, like I don't give a shit about your opinion. You don't give a shit about mine. Just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just fucking keep going. Like
Yeah.
I don't really get it. Like if you want to have a conversation with me, fine. But it's like there was one guy who was trying to tell me, like, he's like, "Oh, you're wrong for saying Arkham Knight was better than Spider-Man 2." And it's just like it was like he just wanted me to sit there and argue with him, just like for him to keep repeating the points. And I'm just like, buddy, if you don't got anything else to say, like this is just a waste of my time, right? I just blocked him. Like I was just at this
Mm-hmm.
point now, I just block people because it's so annoying. It's like I don't care, you don't care. Let's just not have this conversation. Why are you telling me how I should feel about something else? Like I don't like you could feel whatever you want, but don't tell me how I should feel about something. You just tell me, "Oh, I wasn't there." It's like I bought fucking Arkham Knight day one. When the game came out, I went to fucking GameStop and bought the
Oh
game.
yeah.
Like I had this copy
Oh
for
yeah.
like
Yeah.
9 years now. Like what do you?
Oh yeah. What? I mean, you and I mean, I came in during a discussion with you about not Arkham, but about Suicide Squad with you and Tony.
Yeah, that was also just. I mean, like people. If you don't like something, you're not gonna like it, right? But like. I just don't
Marcus,
understand when you explain something, why someone likes something. People have like this defense mechanism to come in
I know
and
Marcus.
like explain why they don't like it. It's like, okay,
Marcus, I know there's people like this. I know.
yeah, there's people like that. If you say you don't like the Marvels, people will
Or
jump on you, right?
they'll say something you're misogynist because there's 3 women in it, or some will say you didn't like it because it was directed by a black woman. Like, no, I don't care if it's directed by whatever by a different
There's
color woman.
there's a Stan account that has like, watch out if you should ever see this account. It has a Wanda profile picture, and they go on some crazy ass tirades. Um, it's like, oh my God, it's like they were like blaming everybody for letting the Marvels bomb, and they're like cussing off everyone, and people are like, yo, she's like blocking every single person that says like they didn't like the Marvel. You're just like these people like you have way too much fucking free time. Like way too much free time. Just tweet out something, respond to people and keep going. Like you don't need to be just blocking every single person. Like it's like they're actively searching up the Marvels and then like blocking anyone who says they didn't like it. It's weird. You know, that's just
I
weird.
yeah, Marcus. Yeah. I see your point. Like,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, yeah, I'm sick of both sides too.
yeah,
But the people on Twitter, I think, are another level. With Geeks and Gamers, we all know they're doing it. They're saying this
for
stuff to make
clicks.
money. For
You know
yeah,
what? I'm gonna say
exactly.
it on here. I say it
But
on
the
here. Eric
but the
Eliza,
people on Twitter, they don't do. They're not making shit. Okay,
no,
just keep that in mind. They're not making anything. So they're doing this out of pure passion. Okay.
dude, blinded. I think George said the same thing. I think you were in the chat. Not you might have said in the group. Yellow Flash is trending on my Twitter account. My Twitter. You know the
Yeah.
trends? I saw him. Was he trending
I
on
didn't
yours
see
too?
he wasn't trending on mine. I went to go look when George typed that in. I was like, "Oh shit, really?"
Yeah, yeah,
Yellow Flash is a fraud. We know this. We've
yeah.
known this for years, but all the people surrounding him, they just ignored him. He's a fucking idiot.
This is fact. This is fact. Because sometimes he lets it slip. Jeremy does let it slip.
Yeah, we know this. We talked about this
Yeah,
before.
yeah. He does let it slip.
Not Yellow Flash though. Yellow Flash, he's a bitch. He's a fucking bitch. Just watch his content, watch the streams that he's been on. You see how he interacts with people. I've always said this. He's a fucking bitch. I hate that
Yeah.
guy. I hate that guy with such a fucking strong passion. I'm like, finally, out of all the people, like I know people hate Nerdrotic and all these. I don't really care all that much. Yellow Flash was the one who Yellow Flash and obviously Ryan Kennel. Ryan Kennel is the next person. I'm like, please, someone expose him. Something. He's a fucking nuisance. Like he doesn't even have a working brain of his own. He just literally repeats the shit that everybody else says in his circles. And it's like, dude, like are you okay? Like and he's like, bro, both of them, man, I hate those guys. I'm sorry, man. I don't say that a lot, but those are the people I just can't stand. Yellow Flash is not a kid. He's a fucking grown man. He's a grown fucking man. He's much older than people think he is, by the way. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Just yeah. There who's there's just certain people they just trigger. They really do trigger me. It's not even what they're saying. It's just their whole personality. Like you could just see right through it. And their audience are like full of idiots.
the people
Full of fucking idiots who just like watch it and lap it up and think it's the truth.
It's such a great point, George, because the people that call people snowflakes, they're the biggest snowflakes of them all.
Yeah, Ren, he is a snowflake. That's the thing. He's the biggest snowflake because it's like he just sits there, he regurgitates shit. You call him out, he doesn't have anything to say, right? He
Mhm.
just says his fucking talking points, and then his audience comes around. It's like they're fucking little girls skipping around each other, being
Mhm.
like, "Ah, you got old," and that's all they gotta say. And Yellow Flash is like that too. He's a fucking con man. He's a fucking
Oh,
liar. He should
yeah.
have gotten exposed a long time ago. Instead, he makes these shitty. He doesn't even have interesting personality. He just sounds like, "Hey guys," and he talks real fucking slow. Fuck Yellow Flash, man. Like, pull up a video of his and just look at his content. Like, it's generic filler shit, lies that he fucking spreads. So I'm gonna pull up this one.
Yellow Flash 2
Sits,
is it called now? Yeah. I
yeah,
heard
he's always been a con. He's always been a con.
She-Hulk start confirmed season 2 is dead. Well, how can season 2 be dead if it hasn't been greenlit?
Yeah, they're just saying what the actress said because
Yeah.
she's like, I'm not sure. But here's the thing, like, I think it's pathetic that none of all his like fanboys, they're still in the comments. Why aren't they questioning him about his scam that he's running?
Stop.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Like,
I
do you
can-
remember that? Do you remember that clip where he's like, they're joking about George Floyd,
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
that
You went to the
that
statue or something?
and you just and it's the other guy making the joke, right? But it's like him just like
Yeah.
standing in the camera just to make sure he's like, listen, I'm edgy, you get it, and making all these jokes. But he's not the one making the fucking joke. That's how I know he was a fucking bitch.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sorry, man. I gotta call it as it is. They're fucking bitches. Okay, they are shrimps. They act real tough, and they don't got anything to say. They really don't got anything to say. They're the worst out of all of them. Forget about Nerdrotic. Forget about all these Chris Gore and Geeks with Gamers. Forget all those people. Okay,
Oh my
pack
god.
the little dudes underneath them because
Is
they
he
are the biggest fucking simps.
is
They are
Yellow
simps.
Flash Yellow Flash Nerdotic in a relationship?
No, but Yellow Flash is he's so salty at EVS. He's so
Oh, I know.
mad because he couldn't leech off of EVS no more. That's what some of these dudes do. They just go on there, they go
No,
hang
you
out on
know
the streams, and they just
you know
want
what
the
knows?
fucking attention.
Blinded because they're not really friends. They just use
They're
each
not
other.
friends. They're not friends. Yeah. All the
They,
people all the people in that circle, like also
yeah.
too, if you realize there's some people who used to be in that circle, they're no longer in that circle. If you notice, right?
Hmm.
If you notice, there's one channel, and it's funny too. I type in Yellow Flash and I see the account's name. World Class Bullshitters. Do you remember this channel?
Maybe.
These guys are the guy who's running it. He used to be on all their streams. And
I
then
I
suddenly he fucking
I
disappeared.
put
He's no longer there, even though he makes the same content. He makes the
I
same
put
content still.
I put Yellow Flash in a search engine, and I got like one of the searches says Eric July and Yellow Flash attack Ethan Van Sciver in comics game. Ah, jeez, I wonder who's doing that stream.
Oh man. Does
You know who I'm
does
talking.
anybody in the chat remember World Class Bullshitters? And they used to be also
Yes.
in this grift too.
Oh,
They're still in the grift, but they actually used to be more involved with it, right? They used to appear on the streams, and I don't know if he was on Friday Night Tights or whatever the fucking show is, but um I just remember he used to hang out with them, and then I was like, "Oh, he disappeared. What happened?"
I
And then
seriously.
I think he mentioned it in a video. He mentioned like, "Oh, these people were a bunch of bitches and they were fake." And I'm like, "Oh, no surprise. Okay, they're all fakes. Even Eric July. Eric July is probably the biggest fake. They're all fakes.
Yeah,
All of
he
them
is.
sitting in, they're fakes. Who's another guy that's a big fake of the fucking
Yeah, they turned on Jesse Milestone a long time ago too.
Oh yeah, yep.
Long time ago. That's like 1 or 2 years ago. She made a video and she was like crying or something about it.
They turn
Yeah.
they turn on all these people. Like they're there to make a bunch of fucking money. That's why they will never admit, even if this is the thing, right? If they put out the best Star Wars movie better than the fucking original trilogy, right? They will never come out and say it's better than the original trilogy because then they can't make fucking money,
Wait a minute, he has
right?
a real voice.
Yeah, he's been Cameron Pasha. This is the thing about Cameron Pasha. I keep saying Cameron Pasha is a con man, right? He says shit so he get attention, right? If he's like, oh,
Doom Cock
Kathleen Kennedy
was
is fucking a bunch of dudes in the bathroom, he's the one who's gonna say it. He's got footage of it, and people are gonna click on the fucking
Oh, and
video.
who's
He's
gonna
he's
believe it? Doomcock.
he no one should believe what Cameron
Well,
Pasha ever says. Nothing he says comes
it's
to
true.
fruition, and is most of the time shit I can make up right here.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's more fucking. Listen, it's the exact same thing. I'm telling you. He literally said that they fucking deleted her email and that they rushed into her office and they were fucking pushing her out of the room. He was saying shit like that, okay? He was on Doom Talk stream saying all this bullshit,
Oh,
okay? And then before, what is Cameron Pasha now doing? And he goes around too. He's smart, right? Cameron Pasha, you got to remember, Cameron Pasha is really smart. This is what he does. He goes on. Uh, it's either. I don't think he believes the shit that he's saying, unlike
of
some of
course
these other
not.
people. But he loves hamming it up, right? He's a fucking real
He's
entertainer,
a
right?
showman, yeah.
Yeah, you actually believe that this guy may have been a screenwriter, right? Because he can make up some bullshit.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. This guy he
And
was a screenwriter.
so,
He
yeah,
was a
he was,
screenwriter.
but he's not. I don't know if he's
They
doing
he
that
got
anymore.
they got too he got too crazy for them, man. It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
It's like this is
and
too crazy for us.
he just took the story and he's like, it's a story he's telling. He's
I
not
think
telling
I think he I think he's
reality.
right. I think when he goes on these streams on YouTube, I think what he's doing, I think he really thinks he's writing a TV show.
Well, I think he is because this is what he does, right? He goes to Midnight's Edge. He says some bullshit, right?
It is a TV
Ham,
show.
he tries to say some bullshit, and then he gets people to his Patreon. That's what he's doing. He's trying to sell.
Yeah.
He's trying to just make money off of this. He's like, how can I come in here and take a slice of this? That's what they're all doing. That's why Eric July realizes, he's got to make the fucking comic book because he can make he's thinking in his mind he can make more money off of this grift. This grift is now exponential. It goes beyond just YouTube, right? So they're all frauds in my opinion. They're all frauds. And it's funny that no one says it, right? The people like in that circle, they're not going to say anything even though they know they're frauds, they're liars, they're con men, they know, right? And they won't say
Yes.
because they want that sweet money. They're all fucking chasing fucking
It's-
money. That's what they're doing.
It's sadly YouTube does reward like.
It's not just YouTube though. They're not just making money
Yeah.
off of YouTube. They're making
know.
money a lot of other ways. That's what people
Yeah.
have to understand.
That's the problem. It's the problem with YouTube. They cater to those people more than the other side. If you ask me, like it's
Yeah, they always say YouTube is like
censoring them.
trying to censor. YouTube is not censoring them. Look at
Yeah.
Neurotic's channel. Just look at Neurotic's channel.
Oh,
And tell me
yeah.
how many views he's getting. He's getting millions of views. Okay, he's getting 100,000 views a day, or a lot more, right? He could just he could post whatever the fuck he wants, and it's gonna do numbers, right?
Mhm.
So don't believe this is what I'm saying. Don't believe what they're saying. They got people in their fucking little circle, and all the people who watch them and believe their shit. I'm sorry, but you guys are stupid. Wake the fuck up. Time to wake up. Okay, you guys are being fucking lied to, and they keep lying to you because they take this shit that we
Yeah,
know
they're con
maybe
artists.
isn't great. Yeah, they're con artists. They know. Think about it. They want Disney to be shit until like the end of fucking time, right? That's how they make their money, right? And so it's like, if Disney puts out Echo, that's fucking great content for them. Oh my god, that's fucking amazing, right?
Yes, Shimiyu, whatever.
Yeah, Degrassi's right. These people do not. I keep saying this. There's no real such thing as being canceled, right?
No.
Because the people who they listen, it's a whole fucking scam of this cancel thing, right? They come out and say someone is like criticizing them, and then it turns into, oh, they're getting canceled, right? And they use that, right? They use it as a way of, oh, let's make a big stink about it, right? So then they can fucking carve out a little niche for themselves on the internet. That's what Alex Jones has done. That's what a lot of these people have done, right?
Yeah.
So many of them different, beyond just like this little section, right? Like I said, Alex Jones is one of them. Alex Jones is super successful. Alex Jones makes a shit ton of money, and you would have never figured he was canceled. Never. So, like, don't believe these people when they say I've been canceled. They're making way more money you'll ever make. That's for sure. So
yeah, that's
don't
the thing
believe this
about
shit.
them. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't want politics in their entertainment. I'm like, politics has always been entertainment.
Yeah,
And they know that. I'm sorry. But they know
laymen.
that.
It's also just like the laymen are right now. They're like, oh, why is all these politics, these new age politics in my fucking movies, right? It's easy for them to latch on to shit.
Mhm.
Who's another person I'm trying to think that was like different that got canceled?
Louis C.K.
Also too, when Neurotic's on Twitter and he says, Miles Morales is Miles Morales, right? And you got all the people on Twitter going, how could you say that? What the fuck is wrong with you? You do realize he's fucking farming you guys, right?
Yeah, he's doing that.
fucking farming you, right? He's doing that so then you can go click on his fucking page, you can retweet him, and then you're gonna click on his YouTube video and you're gonna be like, oh my god, look at the fucking thumbnail. There's fucking milk coming out of Kathleen Kennedy's mouth. Oh my god, I'm so outraged. I'm gonna go dislike the video. Now, YouTube doesn't even fucking these people who dislike bomb YouTube videos, right? You guys are fucking morons. Now I'm unhinged today. I'm unhinged. I was just cussing and swearing and saying all this crazy stuff. Okay.
Dislike is a
YouTube,
good thing on YouTube.
yes, it's engagement now. They don't count it as a dislike. It's not a downvote. You dislike it, guess what? You engaged with it. That meant, oh, people are interested in this content. So I'm just triggered. I'm just triggered. Every time I hear this conversation and the way that everybody acts around it, it just triggers me. It just gets me upset. It gets me riled up.
This is
So
such
I'm
a great
like,
point.
people should just come out. Same thing with Melanie Mack. Yes, Melanie Mack, one of the biggest engagement farming on Twitter and YouTube. Right? Do you
I
guys
don't even think
really
she's
believe she's a
Christian. I'm sorry.
Christian?
No, I think she's a
No,
witch. But that's what I
no.
think.
I don't think she's anything. Maybe she could be Christian, but she's not this hardcore Christian like
I
she
think
claims.
I think she's a witch.
It's all to get these people in the door, to get a fucking fan base, right? So then they can all be in their comments being like, "Oh, they're gonna be simping for her." They're the ones talking about simps. They're a fucking simp for her. That's the
No,
funny part.
the stuff Joe Rogan says on his podcast, like Spotify still, it's like Spotify still pays him.
Yeah,
Like,
remember he was trying to say they're trying to cancel me, and people are trying to
Yeah.
cancel me because Joe Rogan is never gonna get canceled. That man makes
you want to know
so much
something?
fucking money.
You want to know something? If you're not making any money and you say something controversial that's cancel worthy, they'll get rid of you. They'll sack you. If you're not getting in business, but if your company's making business off that, you're safe. You're gonna be safe. No matter
Melanie
what.
Mack is a grifter,
Yeah.
Marcus. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You're being lied to. You're
Yeah, so,
being
like,
lied to. It's an entire grift.
she looks
She's
like a
making
witch.
more money than she ever did on YouTube.
She looks like a witch. See,
She
like
sh-
Joe Rogan's
she
not going to get canceled because his podcast top of his game on Spotify gets a lot of people listening or on YouTube people watching. They're not going to cancel him for that.
I know, yo, this is Degrassi is fucking right? These people,
Yeah.
this is what I don't get. I don't understand. Like they think that they're the small little people because they're not running a fucking production like CNN or NBC, like or oh my god, I'm not owned by Warner Brothers, right? I'm not owned by this giant corporation. Well, technically you do work for a giant corporation. You just work independently.
Yeah.
Right. And also too, it makes them money, so they're not going to tell you to shut up. Right?
Yeah. If his podcast is not doing huge numbers, not making any money, not get people paying for Spotify, they probably let him go.
Yeah, they probably would let him go, but why would they?
Yeah.
Melanie Mack used to. This is what happened, right? Melanie Mack realized that her whole making money. This is what I believe, right? I believe that what she was doing on YouTube, it wasn't working. She realized it wasn't working. Her streaming, doing all this stuff, it wasn't going to work. That's why she disappeared for many years, until recently she saw an opportunity, right? Like 2 years ago, she saw this whole outrage community, and she's like, oh, I could do this with fucking my own thing, right? I can complain about Tomb Raider, right? I can complain about all these female characters in movies and video games.
I could be homophobic.
And I could say, well, yeah, and then it evolved into that. Now she could just say all this stuff and be like,
it because she's Christian.
Yeah, because she's Christian, right?
Yeah, and she's like,
no one should believe any of these people. They're not genuine people. They're not. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to sit there and lie to you because they're going to make a couple of bucks.
Yes, Degrassi. That's Degrassi.
Yeah, this is.
No, we believe her divorce was like a mental breakdown for her.
Well, yeah, because she got divorced. There's a lot of weird stuff with Melanie Mack.
She should marry Tomb Raider.
She should get therapy or something. Or you know what? Maybe she should actually go to church. You know what I mean? Why don't you actually go talk to your minister?
If she streams on a Friday morning, not a Friday, on a Sunday morning, I'll be like, why are you not at church?
Yeah. No one should believe that she's this like reformed Christian. Listen. I'm gonna just say I don't believe any single person who says that they're a reborn again Christian. I really don't. because those are the people who replace their problematic views with religion instead of actually being religious, right? Instead of
It's
actually being a good person and fulfilling
it's
those
just
values,
yeah.
it's like narcissism talk of like I got to show that I'm better than everybody, just like before. It's
It's like
bullshit in my opinion. Be religious, but don't fucking do that to other people, right? Don't be acting like you're better than everybody. Um, because then you completely miss the point.
yeah, like oh really? Yeah, like don't push religion on others. Like that's yeah. And don't be one of those Christians. And I'm sorry, George. I'm not trying to criticize all Christians, but I'm trying to criticize those Christians. See, I have nothing but love for gay people. I just don't agree with them with the lifestyle, and but they're gonna go to hell anyway. But I have love for them, and I hope they don't. Like, don't be one of those people. Don't one of those people.
It's
You know what I
just
mean? Yeah,
I think some people should just
yeah.
it just sounds really eh, like
You don't love them.
I don't really know what you're trying to accomplish there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't.
I
And
just
that's what Melanie Mack came out and said all that stuff because she didn't say it because like she would have normally if she said that and she knew she wasn't going to get attention, right? She would have never made that post. She knew exactly what she was doing. She made that post because
oh,
she knew
100%.
people are gonna fucking tag it and people are gonna lose their
Yeah,
mind and she knows how people act. That's what I'm trying to say, that some of these people stop being outraged by everything. It's bait. It's most of the stuff is bait, right? Don't believe these people. They're farming you. They're trying to get clicks off of you and they're trying to prove their point. Don't let them do it. Don't do it.
yeah.
Trust me. Don't do it. These people, they're because you guys are all look like idiots, right? And then it becomes this massive circle where it's
This
like
is
it's never ending.
this is
Ah,
true. This is
these
true. I mean, there's crazies in everybody, right? I mean, and every faith has some crazy has crazy. It's just it's just the thing with faith, whatever religion is. There's so many different interpretations of religion, stuff like that. Like, I don't want to go into detail about that, but you get the idea. There's no exact, if you ask me. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, yeah, just don't. That's the thing about that's it's the problem. Blind is that people can't resist debate. They have to say something. They have to say something. They can't resist. So they can't resist. They always give in blinded. They always give in the bait. They always bite the worm on the hook, or fall into the trap. If you get my analogy.
right.
I'm gonna end it here, man. We'll go about 2 hours. I want to thank you. I'm blinded. You got any videos? Any videos of late?
Yeah, I got some. I was actually working on some videos that should be coming out this week, sometimes this week. Um, yeah, one is Suicide Squad related. Another one is just sort
Nice.
of just like a random topic that I had. You'll see it when it's posted, and it's all video game related though. And then
Mm-hmm.
we also have Controller Chronicle, which we are doing the Xbox Developer Direct on Thursday.
Oh, this is
So if
direct
you're
Thursday.
yeah, so if you're interested in stuff like Indiana Jones and Hellblade and
What time is it?
Avowed, I actually don't know what time. It might be like in the afternoon,
Okay.
like early in the afternoon.
Maybe I'll talk
Um,
about it and let's talk pop.
yeah, if you want to, you could, if you're
Yeah, yeah.
available at that time, I could send you a link because it might just me and RJ, but we'll see. And then um, yeah, that's pretty much it. You can find me on Twitter, so yeah, go check me out there if you haven't already.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, blinded. Um. Oh, I'll just read this. Huh?
Yeah. I don't really blame you.
Ah,
I don't blame anybody who is religious or it doesn't want to be religious, right? It should be a individual choice. That's how I feel about it. And it's
yeah.
like if stuff happened to you when you were a kid, Like that, I totally get. And that's why when you see like Melanie Mac just like saying all this stuff, like people should just know that it's not real. Right? Like she's hamming it up. She's trying to play it up, and because she knows that people will just feed off this hate. It's crazy how much just like actual hate is like how profitable it is on the internet. It's very profitable.
Yeah, I think we joked on it, Gavin Geeks, about hate.
Yeah. Just like you don't it's like you don't even really you don't even need to be like throw dog whistles anymore. You just do what Melanie Mac's doing and you'll find an audience, right?
Oh yeah, I think we should burn. I think we should burn everybody. Everybody's a witch. Just all burn them. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Whatever. Up to you, Degrassi. So for me, guys, Thursday we're gonna let's talk pop. Since it's not Xbox is having a showcase, maybe it'll be on. Maybe we'll talk about that too. Even though it might be on Controller Chronicles to invite me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the Indiana Jones stuff is good, then you could always have content, right?
Is Harrison Ford gonna voice Indy? That'd be awesome.
That'd be interesting. We'll have to see.
But yeah. And and on Friday night on my Dissect channel, we're gonna go over Doomcock and a bunch of videos he's made, and maybe if he is live and singing, we'll stream snipe him just for the hell of it.
Hopefully, because that one time it was funny.
He does it a lot though. He does it a lot in his normal voice. And yeah, so do me for a like, share, subscribe, comment below, do all that, sub to Blinded, whatever, side of Controller Chronicles. See you Thursday, and take care, guy. Bye.
All right, peace.